Okay, everybody, we're going into our next segment, and y'all hold on for just a second. Now, what we're going to deal with now is we're going to deal with the situation that we have about changing our financial situation, because there's some things that we need to know and some things that we need to start putting into practice. So what we're going to deal with now is we are going to deal with assets and liabilities. Okay? Assets and liabilities. Uh, Most of us think, a lot of us, I'm not going to say most, a lot of us think that our house is our biggest asset. But the question that needs to be asked is, whose asset is it? Because assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take money out of your pocket. So if you have a house and that house is not generating any income for you, if you're paying a mortgage, or you're fighting a foreclosure, or you're just constantly living in the house, but the house is not producing anything, then the house is in the liability section. And the only time that house can go into the asset section is when that house is putting money in your pocket. We got to get that straight. We got to we have a lot of us have this mentality that if I bought this beautiful home, that's my biggest asset. Well, no, if the house is not producing any income, the house is a liability. We got to learn the difference between assets and liability. Now let's go on to the car. We got a brand new Cadillac. Does that Cadillac put money in your pocket? Because if that Cadillac is not putting money in your pocket, then that Cadillac is on the liability side. If you're paying for the gas, if you're paying for the tires, oil change, you're getting it clean on a regular basis, at some time you have to ask yourself, when is this car putting money in my pocket? Now that's not to say that you got the car in order to get to work. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about assets and liabilities. If you have an automobile, and we're going to say that you're selling pies. So you do your pies up, you count up the cost for the pies, the shell, the crust, the pans to put them in. You're going to put them in an automobile, and you're going to go out on the streets, and you're going to look for a market where you can sell your pies. Well, now officially, you can look at the house being a part of producing some income, and the car being a part of producing the income. So now we can take the car and put it over in the asset section, provided that that automobile is paying for its own gas, paying for its own repairs, paying for its own tires. Now, paying for its own maintenance over and over and over. Now, the reason why I thought it's important to bring this information out is because we're talking about life management here. We're talking about learning the difference between an asset and a liability. And that not only goes with the house and the automobile, that goes along with everything that you're dealing with in your life. Your relationships, is this relationship with this individual an asset or liability? Okay. Is it propelling me forward into better and more useful things in life? Am I constantly at a deficit as a result of dealing with this individual? Okay, I know this is kind of cruel, but we have to change our thinking. We're gonna, in order for us to make it inside the United States, we are going to have to change our thinking. Okay, so I want to bring this information out about the assets and liabilities. Then we want to go to another section that I want you to take a look at. So just bear with me for a moment. All right. The average individual gets a job and they get a paycheck. But what they have to understand is that the United States made it illegal for you to pay yourself first. So they use what's called taxation. Now, even though we know, based on previous information that I brought out, that there is no law stating that you can be taxed on your wages. There is no law. The Internal Revenue Service has absolutely no law, but yet they're still doing it to people, and people are still allowing them to get away with it. So what we want you to do is we want you to go to www.newdebtelimination.com. www.newdebtelimination.com. Call me, Tarhaka Amaana El Bey, 904-303-9061 before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll show you how to deal with that. Okay? But now let's go back over here. We got income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. And what's been going on is inside the school system, we don't find them teaching us how to read an income statement, how to manage your life, even in it, talk about money. It's as if it's a dirty word or something. But we want to look at a financial statement. You work on your job, the income comes in here, and for the average individual, they have a job. The job might be paying them a little good money. They have an automobile, which is over here in the liability section, that's not producing any income. But the income comes in after they have been taxed, and the expenses, you got your rent, lights, water, gas, or what have you, down here, and the income comes out here into the loss section, because you never got a chance to make it down here in the asset, accumulate in the asset, because you've been taxed first. Okay? All right? So this is what the average individual goes through on a daily basis when they're trying to make it and trying to figure out, well, look, they gave me a raise. They gave me a $1.50 raise, but I still can't make it. You know, it's just, I still can't make it. So what this is showing you is what is happening to you. The income is coming in. It's being eaten up by expenses. And then you may have a complete list of liabilities and stuff that you haven't considered that's consuming your income. You have not paid yourself first. Okay? The government has taken theirs off the top. I mean, that's consistent with everybody across the world. They're not putting in the work. You're actually putting in the work, and but they're paying themselves off of your labor. Okay? And there is no law. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So let's take a look at the average middle class family in this situation. Now we got both husband and wife together, a boyfriend and girlfriend together. They're on a mission. They got a plan, and he's working, she's working. The income is coming in here. It's going down through the expense section, the expense section. Excuse me, y'all. And but they never get a chance to accumulate any assets, because in the expense section they say, well, both of us are working, we're making good money, we work all the time, we need to have some fun, we need to go buy a new car, I want to have the living room remodeled, I want to have the bathroom remodeled, I want to set up a new fund, I want to do something for the kids, I want to do all this stuff. So that income coming in, keep in mind, the more money you make as a couple, the more what? You're taxed on top. Okay? So you pretty much still in the same situation. Your money comes in here, it goes through the expense section, it goes down into the in the asset section, which is really over here borderline in the liability section, and then it comes back out here as loss. Even though both of you are working, you can't seem to make ends meet. But on the other hand, what the rich has done is they've changed their thinking. Okay, they don't. The rich do not work for money. What they do is they accumulate assets here, down here in the asset section, and that provides them with income. Then they have a system set up where they can spend, invest, and give away, and then they're taxed after the fact, because what they have done is they have changed their thinking from income to asset, from asset to income. So it is their assets that is generating income for them, and they'll set up a buffer in here and set up a corporation, set up a trust, and what have you, and they're able to spend as much as they can, invest in as much as they can, and then give away the rest, and then they are taxed after that. You see what I'm saying? Because they have mastered the difference between assets and liabilities. And this is something that we're going to have to start practicing in real life. Now, I want to go over to one other thing for you. Well, matter of fact, I can write that here. What we want to start doing is we want to start doing something a little bit different. We want to change our thinking somewhat. Pay you first. If you've done the work, you put in the time, you put in the hours, you put in the work, pay you first. $10%. That's off the top. You got a $100 bill, $10 got to be put aside. And those $10 that you're putting aside to pay yourself first, you're going to use that as investment capital. You want to put that to the side. You're going to save that till you get enough to invest. Now, you don't have to do that for long, because the average business startup can be about $1,000. So $3,000, nice business. So if you got two of you working, you can do this. If you single by yourself, it's just simply going to take you twice as long. But that is the way out. Pay yourself first. Now, a lot of people tell me, well, we don't have money. We ain't got nothing. Well, I have to disagree with that. Sorry about that. Because we have a brain. And the only thing that you have to do is manage your lifestyle. Change your thinking about money. Okay? If we do that, then we can discover we can do a whole lot of things. We learn the difference between assets and liabilities. You see, in my position, I believe that the only reason one man should work for another man is to acquire seed capital for investment in his own company. That's just the way I see it. That's the game that I deal with. Okay, pay yourself first. It doesn't matter if you got 50 bucks. Okay, 5 of that, boom, to the side. If you got 100 bucks, 10 of that, boom, to the side. If you got 250, boom, 25 to the side. If you got 350, boom, 35 to the side, so on and so forth. And as long as you develop the habit by your thinking, your own personal thinking, manage your lifestyle so nothing will interfere with your plan. Now, you have to have a plan. And this is why I'm showing you this stuff right here, because this is how you plan to succeed. You cannot continue to do the same wrong thing and achieve something. And the best excuse, the best definition for the word excuse that I've ever heard in my life is this. And it doesn't matter what excuse you're talking about. An excuse is nothing more than the skin of a lie stuck with a reason. Because everybody have a brain, and if you have a brain, you should use it. It's just that simple. There is no excuse. Okay? But anyway, I just wanted to bring this information out to you. And don't forget, www.newdebtelimination.com. www.newdebtelimination.com. Contact me directly. Tarhaka Amaana El Bey, 904-303-9061. And please contact me before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Peace.